Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 137 is brought to you by Jessica Heilman, Bobby Hilgeman, and Amy Kowalski, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I will be talking about the latest update coming to New Horizons, what we think will be coming in Wave 2, and our experience with the bug off. So to begin, hello Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. It's been a fun week so far.
Awesome. And then Sergio, how are you?
Hi Joey, hi Nina. It's been a great week. It's been very Animal Crossing centric. It's a nice change of pace from kind of just working on the dailies, you know? It's been nice. It's been great.
Yeah, and I do really feel like this week kind of shook up the game quite a bit, just because I know last week we were talking about, just people getting bored, talking about how to kind of overcome that boredom and, telling people they can take a break if they want to. But then all of a sudden we get all of this news for the update that's coming. And so people are excited again. I think with the event especially, people were back on the game and playing a lot. So I think, every single month these updates come or any event that happens, it just brings more life to the game and makes it makes it more exciting for people, and I think that's what we needed at this point. So I guess let's jump into it. We've got the summer update coming to New Horizons. So Nintendo dropped a trailer, as they do, just randomly, no warning or anything. So, I think we all just kind of woke up to this the day it happened. And it was a funny day for me because it was my first day going back into the office. So now I'm kind of going in every other day. So part of me just wanted to sit around and talk about it all day. But then I was like, I got to go to work. I can't stop. I got to get ready. So anyways, let's just break down the trailer a little bit, kind of go with the big points. And then Nina, we'll let you kind of go into some specific details because I saw you did a bit of an analysis for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might have gone through it and watched it a few times.
Awesome. Okay, so just really big stuff that's happening. They've said that the oceans are opening up, which means swimming is making its return to Animal Crossing. We haven't seen it since New Leaf, which, it hasn't been too long, but the game has been out a few months now, and it's very clear we're going to get a lot of updates in the future, but, swimming's the first big one that's coming, and that means we are diving as well, which means we're going to be finding some new creatures out at the bottom of the ocean, which is really nice because it gives us more to collect in the museum. Of course, you're going to need a wetsuit to go swimming, so there's going to be a ton of new wetsuit designs and a bunch of new things that we're going to be able to wear. I'm pretty happy that I'm finally going to be using the water shoes I bought week 1 and have never worn. And then, of course, I mentioned the museum donations, but there's another special thing that you can find when you go diving, and that is the scallops. And for anybody who didn't play New Leaf, whenever you found a scallop, usually it happened once a week, I think, in New Leaf, but you would find a scallop and, a little visitor would come out of the water and ask you for said scallop. That visitor is named Pascal. He's a sea otter, and he's really cute and very wise. So I'm sure we're going to have a really good time hanging out with him. But on top of that, in this game, they confirmed that he's going to be giving us some new recipes. And these recipes are the mermaid recipes, which is a very popular set from New Leaf. And I think one thing that this does is not only does it bring back this set that was, widely adored by a lot of fans, but this also kind of gives me hope for other sets to return as well. So, just a little piece of info there. But before we get into that too deeply, I do want to say the last thing they mentioned is that we're going to have a new encounter, a Gulliver encounter, which is, it's strange because we've already gotten Gulliver in the game. He shows up in his little sailor outfit, but now he seems to have a pirate getup. So I feel like they're watching Nina play this game and saying, all right, it's a pirate game now.
Everyone's a pirate.
Yes, turn everybody into a pirate. We've got Jolly Red. We've got Gulliver as a pirate now. He's a captain, of course. But I guess that wasn't actually the last thing. They did mention that there's going to be another update, Wave 2 of Summer, coming early August. So we're not going to have to wait too long before there's more news on the way, it's always delightful to get some more stuff. All right, so let's kind of talk about all of these things. Well, actually, before we do that, Nina, I'm going to let you kind of take over here and tell us about some of the cool things you noticed while watching the trailer.
Yeah, and we can have a back and forth about it too. I love, first of all, that not only were they using kind of the pun for the oceans opening up, but they're also saying, this is wave 1 and then wave 2 of the summer update is coming next. I thought that was hilarious. In true Animal Crossing fashion, they're being a little tongue in cheek, which is fun.
Yeah, and it's always really cute when they do those things because I just love the puns and I want them to embrace them.
Yes.
It's amazing. I also loved when I was watching the trailer for the swimming part, when you start to dive, that camera shift goes completely overhead. I know when you're walking around on the island, you can kind of change the camera so it's a little bit overhead, but this one was like a complete bird's eye view so that you could see those diving creatures and chase after those shadows. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised to see that just because, I don't quite remember how it worked in New Leaf, but I don't think it went completely overhead.
No, it definitely was a higher angle, but I don't think it was completely overhead either.
Right.
Plus, you could see...
Maybe... I also feel like it was a little bit... it was made kind of to combat the reflective surface of the water, I feel, because, when you're looking at the water from certain angles, it's like, oh, I can't really see too much in there. Yeah. And then when you get more of an overhead view, you do get, some better visibility of what's actually underneath.
Totally. And the bubbles coming out from the person looked amazing from the overhead. And also you could see kind of the rocks and things that are underneath the water. It just looks beautiful.
Yeah, they've done such a great job with all the water in the oceans in this game. I'm really glad that we finally get to enjoy them.
Yeah. I'm assuming that the shadows are going to work similar to New Leaf, that some of them are faster than others and some of them are stationary. Right. And I'm guessing our player will run out of breath like it does in New Leaf too. But in the trailer, we didn't actually see any of the shadows moving, at least not fast enough for me to notice. So it'll be interesting to see, how that changes from New Leaf.
Yeah, I picked that up too, where it was just part of the whole diving mechanic in New Leaf was that you actually had to chase these things down. Otherwise, they were going to get away from you. And the timing was a little bit tricky with some of the harder to catch creatures. So
definitely.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how they're going to approach the whole mechanic this time.
And some of them were so fast, and then they'd go through the net that you can't go past, like that where it becomes too dangerous to swim.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was the worst feeling. You have to learn kind of how to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're guarding it across. Like if you cut it off, it will start to swim in the other direction.
Right.
It's so tricky. Like I just imagine like when soccer players are trying to keep the ball in bounds, when they throw their bodies in front of it. That part will be fun to play around with too.
Yeah, I really wonder how it'll go because, even going back to the swimming mechanic, I remember at times when I was swimming, I would be kind of gritting my teeth while just clicking the button over and over. It wasn't the most comfortable, action for me when playing the game, which is unfortunate for Animal Crossing because it's, it's a relaxing game overall, first and foremost. And so I don't know. I'm just wondering, how is this going to go? Am I going to be gritting my teeth again while I do this?
Yeah, because some of them are just as fast as your player. So if you don't dive at the correct time, you literally cannot catch them. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. But when you're not chasing the critters, it is so relaxing. I find it relaxing at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those new creatures come with new opportunities to donate to the museum, which I'm so excited about. From the trailer, it looked like we're not getting a new exhibit, but that the diving creatures will kind of be incorporated with the fish, the aquarium
Right.
exhibit. Yeah, which makes sense because I feel like we're pretty far along. If you've been catching every fish so far that's been available, we're pretty far along into the catalog. So even though we're that far along, there's still a lot of tanks that are fairly empty. So I think it kind of answers that question as to how we're going to fill those tanks. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully those diving creatures will come with more decorations too. I love when a new fish adds a decoration to the tank. So, I mean, you
Hmm.
guys all know how much I love the museum. So I'm just so excited about this.
Yeah, yeah, and one thing I do really like that they're getting integrated into the existing tanks too, because I don't know, I want to give a shout out to She Says, who does the kind of boundary break videos on YouTube where they'll just kind of create a camera that lets them look at spaces that they normally couldn't within a video game, and Animal Crossing is a really fun one to do that with because the camera outside, especially, is very stationary. But one thing with the museum that is very different from previous Animal Crossing games, at least from New Leaf, is like we don't really control the camera in the museum. Like it takes all of these fixed angles and things, and so
Oh.
with this in this video, he kind of like pointed out like these black boxes that appear, and these black boxes are kind of behind doors, and I don't know if it's going to be that we're going to get a new space here once it updates, but the one that had me most interested was the fossil exhibit has a black box at the back, and I'm like, it seems like they're expanding the museum with each update in like some interesting ways. The first one was the art that got added. We got a whole gallery space where we can display all the art that we buy from Jolly Red. And then this next one, it seems like it's going to be expanding the aquarium, but it's not necessarily expanding it, but just kind of adding things that appear there. So that seems planned. It seems like they sized it to that. But with the fossil one, that one having kind of a black box, that makes me feel like maybe there's going to be an additional room for another thing that we can dig up. And what's that other thing that's not quite in the game yet? A gyroid exhibit, maybe? So,
Ooh.
yeah,
Bring
I'm
back
kind
the
of wondering.
Haniwa.
I know. And so, yeah, I'm just like wondering if like each of these updates is really just going to bring us more to do with the museum, because like when you think about it, like Animal Crossing tends to have some very specific things that I guess capture progression. One of those is
Mhm.
paying off your house, and I'm sure a lot of us have already kind of completed that at this point, especially if we started early on and played the stock market. We've probably paid off our house at this point. But the other one, which feels a little bit more integrated with the gameplay, is the museum, because it's very dependent on being able to play throughout the year, play each month, catch the new fish, catch the new bugs, whatever's new, And so that one really, it tests your time with the game and your ability to just
Mhm.
keep logging in. And so to me, it feels like it's making sense that like a lot of these updates might be focused around the museum and giving us more things to collect, especially throughout the year,
Ah.
and capture that year-long progression with the game.
Oh, I love it. Um,
Yeah.
Before we move on to Pascal, another thing I noticed about the swimming and the diving was that I didn't notice any jellyfish. Did you guys see any jellyfish?
No, I do hope they're in. It was like a nice thing to have. We don't have a lot of enemies in Animal Crossing, so
Yeah.
whenever we have some, let's keep them.
Yeah, even the
uh,
sharks swim away from you. You don't have to worry about the sharks.
That's true. I mean, outside of the bees or the wasps, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
those are oh, and I guess the scorpions and tarantulas. Like those
Yeah.
are the three
Right.
things that are after you in this game.
Actually,
That
and when we had those first few, opening trailers to New Horizons, they did kind of up the ante with making the bees more dangerous. They tried to show you how dark it was at night. They kind of made it seem spooky, and so I'm surprised. I mean, maybe they just didn't show it in this trailer, but I'll be very surprised if we don't have jellyfish.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, me too. And I feel like could we ever catch jellyfish and donate them to the museum because they
Mm-mm.
would be really cute.
They
And I
would.
think we could catch jellyfish, couldn't we?
I don't think so.
I want to
Uh,
say that we could. I'll have to double check, and we'll talk about it next episode when we talk about like new fish and bugs. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would look so good in that like deep sea section
Yes.
of the museum. That place is cool.
Well, and a lot of aquariums in real life have a jellyfish section that are dark and then shine different lights on the jellyfish. They're always like
hmm
my favorite exhibits.
Oh.
They're so calming. So that would be a really cool addition.
Yeah, they look really good. So
Yeah.
I would love them to be at least something we can collect and have in our museum.
Yeah. Let's see. It's harder to see my notes now because there are fireworks outside and Emmett, my dog, has crawled into my lap. So hold on, let me see. Pascal. Okay, so I'm so excited. Sergio, it sounds like you're very excited for Pascal
Yes.
too.
Yes. Hmm.
He's the cutest. You know, he's our little hippie friend. I feel like he and Harvey would be best friends. They may have a pastime that they both enjoy that, we don't have to talk about on this show, but that makes them very wise. And I love his little sayings that he has. Um, the worst part about Pascal for me is that the first time I catch a scallop, it's got to go to the museum. And I hate having to
Oh.
say, Pascal, I'm sorry. Not yet. You have to wait.
Yeah.
Especially, when he's locking those mermaid recipes behind giving him scallops, it's going to be really tricky to save one for Blathers, but I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be patient, just skip the first one,
Yeah,
and then, pretty soon he'll have loads of scallops. It's just the first
loads.
one that he can't have.
It's so hard. Maybe the first one will go to Pascal and the second one will go to, I don't know. What am I saying? I'm going to give it to Blathers.
Yeah. Well, if it still works like it did in New Leaf, where I think like you would get one scallop, or the first scallop you'd get for the week, Pascal would show up. And then if you
Hmm.
got another one throughout that week, I don't think he would anymore. Like, I
Yeah,
think it
I
was
don't think
usually a
so.
once a week
Mm,
occurrence. So you could technically give him that first one and then just hope you find another one during that week where he doesn't want
that's
to take it
true.
from you. And then you never,
Yeah.
you never have to get on his bad side. Not that he has one.
No, I don't think he does. Everything's
Yeah,
chill with Pascal.
yeah.
I'm
He's
excited about the mermaid furniture being DIY recipes too, because I'm really hoping that means that they'll be customizable. Um,
oh,
I've got my like underwater themed room from my pirate ship in the basement, and I'd love to add the mermaid
Ah.
furniture, but I'd like for it to be kind of like dark mermaids to fit my pirate theme.
yeah. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but we'll see. We'll see. Um,
Nice.
and then I don't know, the last part that they showed with Gulliver being a pirate was very confusing to me. Um, I don't know if he'll still be giving out his Gulliver items, like his country traveling items, or if he'll have pirate themed items.
Oh.
In the past, Pascal actually gave kind of piratey items. So,
Yes. Hmm.
yeah, some of those were items that were in the fishing tourney. Um, and the barrel was actually something that Pascal used to give too. Um, so that makes sense that he's giving something different now since we've already kind of gotten those piratey items. But he also gave out like um, not an anchor. What's the wheel? The wheel that steers the ship. I should know this. The stern?
Oh.
What? I don't know. Oh no, I should look this up.
It's the ship wheel.
Yeah, the wheel,
thing.
Yeah.
And there was a compass he
one.
would give you too. So I wonder if Gulliver will be giving some of those items, or I wonder if it's just a seasonal costume that he's gonna wear, and he'll still give us his traveling items. I don't know.
Right,
Yeah.
and then some of the Haken members were mentioning that maybe the way you get the communicator parts is gonna be different. Maybe you actually have to go underwater to fish them out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I hadn't even thought of that, but I think that would make sense to me for sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if he's a sailor in the spring and a pirate in the summer, then I thought it'd be really cute if, like, in the fall he was a pilgrim or something like that, and maybe in the winter he could go back to being an astronaut like he was in the movie and
Oh,
in
yes,
Wild
yes.
World. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
He's a
awesome.
mystery to us right now.
Yeah. I mean, this does definitely change a lot of like what we expected of special characters in the past because I don't know, it just doesn't seem. This isn't something that normally happens. People's roles don't change in this game too much, at least not like
Yeah.
roles within a game. You know, I feel like they usually save the new game for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just overall really changes what is going to be happening in this game, and I'm excited to see what he does next because I would personally really love if he got an astronaut helmet once again and maybe we had to shoot him out of his UFO. I don't know.
Yeah. Or had to shoot down the parts from balloons or something.
Mhm. Yeah, it'd be really
Ooh.
awesome.
Yeah, because I haven't gotten all the Gulliver items yet, so I'd honestly be surprised if his items change.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm nowhere near getting all of those items either. Like it just I don't remember the last time I saw him. If I'm honest with you, it's been a
Yeah.
long time. And I actively check all of my beaches every day cuz obviously I want to see if I can manage to get a new recipe for once in my life.
Right.
But yeah, every time I go up and down the beach, I don't see him and it's been I want to say a good 3 weeks now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Friday comes out Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so soon. I love how quickly they bring the updates out once they're announced. It's great.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sergio, I guess what did you think of all the announcements and stuff?
It's really cool. My favorite part definitely has to be the diving mechanic, the ability to swim. Finally, I'm gonna spend so much time doing that. At least throughout the months of the summer. I did that in New Leaf. I remember a lot of summer holidays that I just spent them swimming around. I would fill up my pockets, and then when they're full, just go sell everything or
Yeah.
donate, and then go back in. Yeah, it was awesome. And of course, Pascal, my boy, his wisdom, that's gonna be awesome. It's been a while. We haven't seen him. It might be cool if he mentions what he's been up to. And of course, he's gonna have new wisdom that he's been cooking up. So I cannot wait to hear it.
Yeah, already he's dropping truth bombs. He's telling us what's more fun than whatever it was, just going down a water slide. I forget, but I don't know.
don't remember
He's
either.
already going to be really popular. I
He's
know
so
it.
cute.
I'm really glad that there are a lot of people who haven't played the previous games, and so they
Mhm.
just don't know. They
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
his antics are.
I wonder too if we'll have to ask our southern hemisphere friends if when you get out of the ocean in the winter if you still shiver and sneeze. That was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do miss that
yeah.
mechanic from New Leaf. Even when you would exit your house, if you had like a full sweater and snow boots on in the summertime, your character would do like a little overheating emotion,
Yeah.
and then they'd shiver in the winter. I miss that.
Yeah, I really do too. I've noticed the only thing I've really noticed in terms of like the clothing I'm wearing is I think I was wearing a sweater early this summer. I guess it was June, early June, but Grizzly was like, "Yo, dude, you're overheating in that thing. You should go change." So so yeah, I mean they do kind of make reference of how you're dressed during the season, but outside of that,
Mhm.
like I haven't really seen your character actually like do some interesting emote, I guess I would call it,
Right.
based on, the emotions
Yeah.
that we have. Um but yeah,
So I guess we'll
maybe
find
one
out
day.
on Friday if they do that.
Yeah, it'd be really cute if they did because it's adorable.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, okay, the last thing they mentioned, like I said, is that there's going to be an August update coming up. Before we go too far into that, there's a New Leaf reminder here that, fireworks every Saturday in August. I think it's actually every Sunday in
Yes.
August.
Sunday.
Yeah, so every Sunday in August there will be fireworks. There's specialty fireworks like sparklers and Roman candles. Fireworks can use custom designs too, so you can have those show up in the sky, which is always a really cool touch in that game. And then Red will be there as well, kind of has a gacha system going with fortune cookies. You can either get a dud or a seasonal toy like the Shave Ice Maker and the Fortune Teller phone. So if you're still playing New Leaf, check it out. It's got some fun things, and it happens every weekend. So, you're not going to miss out on it. Okay, so like I said, we want to talk about the August update. I think what I found interesting with this is that they mentioned that we're getting wave 1 of the update, and then we'd get another one in August. And I mean, I'm coming at this from like a marketing perspective where I think by like early June, once people tried out the wedding season event, they felt like, all right, I want something new to do in this game. This isn't necessarily for me, but I know that, you're updating this game regularly. And it had been like 3 months at that point since we actually had no idea what was coming next, because basically they gave
Mhm.
us 3 months of content in one go where they were like,
Mhm.
all right, all of this stuff is coming for the next 3 months. So, they covered spring. And so everybody had been waiting for that summer update. And it was interesting to me that they were just like, all right, you're getting an update now, like pretty soon. But hold on, because we're going to give you some more stuff in August. So be on the lookout for more news there. So I feel like they're starting to manage the audience a little bit more with this stuff, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I kind of hope they keep going this direction because, like, we just don't have to get to that point. At least, a lot of people get to that point where they're kind of begging for some more news. They just want something to be going on in the game. And so I really like that now there's just going to be, us looking forward to the end of July after we've done all of these new things. What is going to come next? So I'm excited for them to really just start taking advantage of how they can share the news to us.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of that, I feel like, especially with the people I follow on Twitter, the fandom seemed to be losing morale without an update. Um, so even though we don't know what's coming in August, it is nice to know that something is coming in August. So hopefully they'll keep doing like teasers like that, just to let us know that they're thinking of us.
Yeah, for sure. And that's almost all of it too. Like it feels like Nintendo has been very quiet during this time, and a lot of that is due to the situations going on, but I think this helps fans kind of, I guess, lower their expectations, or because I feel like people have the tendency to just like guess what is going to
Yeah.
happen. Oh, it's going to be all of this really great stuff, and then when it's not that, it's just kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
nice
that
to see.
anxiety creeps in.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be nice to kind of see, oh, there's all this really cool stuff that's going to get announced later instead of
Hmm.
people just guessing right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm with you both. I think this, hopefully it is a new norm that it's gonna be monthly updates, and I think it works better. Um, I feel like when we got the last 3 month update, we got a lot of content for those 3 months. So based on what we're getting in July, it kind of seems like we're getting basically the same amount of updates every month, but instead of getting them all at once, we're gonna get them in monthly doses, which I think it's better for people. Like you said, Chewy, it's easier to manage. It's more exciting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun overall.
And I mean, it just kind of goes with the flow of Animal Crossing. New things come out with the month, new fish, new
Yeah,
bugs. Why not just give us a little taste of what we're getting? Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, I guess I had one last question for you regarding the August stuff, and that is, what do you think the August update will bring to New Horizons? And I guess Nina, can you start?
Well, I loved that they didn't tell us much, but in the background, the card had those fireworks that we're so used to seeing in August.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it immediately made me think of the summer festivals we have in New Leaf. But it also made me think about last summer in Pocket Camp. We got some really awesome items that went along with like Japan's summer festival seasons. Um, so we had like these really cool like box crates you could sit on. There were different festival booths. There were firework that would sit on the ground and kind of spark off. Um, there were beautiful like yucatas with the spring flowers on them, and then the cool masks. You could get an Isabel mask and I think a KK mask. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it was a Nook mask. Um, but I think that would be so cool if we could bring kind of that Japanese element to the summer festivals in August because
oh,
New Horizons kind of does go along with the Japanese seasons. So I just think that'd be really cool if we could get, you know, more outfits, maybe festival food for the villagers to carry around when they're hanging around the plaza. Um, just summery fun things.
right. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. There's so much cool stuff that you can get from those festivals. And one of my dreams, kind of very early on, was definitely like, I would love to see the plaza really come to life during any
Yeah.
event, like it feels like everybody's a part of it when those shop owners show up with special goods, when special characters are there to sell things that they don't normally have. So
Mhm.
yeah, overall, I just feel like that would add a lot of life to the game, at least like what we've got.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
really cool to if maybe this is a new opportunity for a new character to be selling something in the plaza because it just doesn't seem to fit Jolly Red as much as it fit Red. He doesn't have a tent anymore and he
Yeah.
doesn't visit as often. So it'd be interesting to see if they introduced a new character because everybody seems to love, Flick, CJ, Daisy May. So, you know, give us more. Give us more people to love.
Yeah, that's true too. Like it just feels fun to have some characters that you really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like the summer
Yeah.
version of Jingle.
Yeah, that'd be so great. Cool. So yeah, Sergio, I guess what do you think is gonna happen with August?
I think it's gonna be cool. I definitely think the biggest part is gonna be the fireworks, and it's my favorite thing in August in New Leaf. I love that event, and it looked really good in New Leaf. So I can only imagine how it's gonna be in New Horizons. I cannot wait to see how they improve it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna change at least a little bit of it, and
Mm,
I have a good feeling it's gonna be for the better. So anything else that they add to me, it's a bonus. I just want to see the fireworks and be there again.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree. It's really fun. I guess so. For me, I made a couple little guesses. Nina, you already kind of touched on this one, but with like Gulliver changing forms, there's a lot of opportunities to do that. I mean, and I don't think it necessarily just has to be Gulliver who does. I think they could make it so maybe Wisp it changes forms as well, because Wisp kind of really reminds me of Gulliver whenever I do his events and such, because he just kind of shows up, asks you to find his 5 wisps, I guess you can say, and then you give them to him, and he gives you an item, right? And so Gulliver works similarly, except he mails the item. It's usually something international, something found on another country and everything, usually a reference like that. So, I think there's opportunities for other characters to do that. So my guess would be Wisp to do that in August. The other thing I could see them doing is definitely like another month-long event at Harv's Island. There's always some opportunities with those. And then the thing that I would really want, though, is just more returning characters. I'm so excited to see Pascal coming back, and I want to see more of my little friends rendered in high definition for this game. That's always a really fun thing to get from it, because, you often don't have the opportunity to see the characters like that unless they're actually in the game. So I want to see that.
Nice. I like that, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to a recap of the Bug Off. And basically, we all played the Bug Off live on stream for everybody. So we got to experience it just as everybody else would. Live and, just in the same setting. So I guess, how did you both feel about it, Sergio? What did you feel about the Bug Off?
Well, I love Flick. I like him a lot. And it was a lot of fun to visit other islands, like we did on stream and then before and after. Probably for me, that's because I'm pretty terrible at catching bugs, it turns out. I didn't know that until yesterday. But no, other than that, it was very difficult. Yeah, for me, it took me quite a while. I'm glad I got the golden trophy. You know what happened? I got the points and Flick tells you, you made it over 300 points. And I was so fed up with the game that I just closed it. I went to the Switch home menu and I closed the game without saving. And then I thought, oh no, I didn't save. So I went back in and I counted the items and I still had everything. So yes, this morning I did still get the golden trophy, which is nice. Good. Because I feel like next time I still want to, participate in the Bug Off, at least for the Nook Miles stamp. But it's definitely not going to be as long-lasting and kind of stressful as this one was.
Yeah. Well, man, that's pretty crazy that you just felt like turning it off right at the end. Well, I'm glad it did save for you, because I know that can be scary, quitting the game and then just looking and being like, oh no, am I actually done, or do I have to do this all over again?
Yeah, imagine.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been rough, for sure.
Oh.
Cool. So yeah, Nina, how did you feel about the event overall?
I definitely found it easier to play solo than playing along with you guys. As much fun as it was, we just did not do as well together. And I guess it has to do with the spawn rate. We were competing with each other against like the limited amount of bugs there were. And I mean, even going to Chewy's Island, which we thought might help because you had the open areas, we still didn't really catch that many more bugs. So I did pretty well on my own. And I love bug catching. I love it over fishing. So this was the tournament for me. And I think Flick is hilarious, even though the dialogue for these tournaments do get kind of old over and over. Flick's dialogue just cracks me up. I love how serious he is, and then how shy he can be after he realizes how serious he is. And I really liked the prizes too. But I really liked the fish prizes also. I'm just a big tournament person, I guess.
Yeah, the prizes were really great. And then I had that same experience though, where I was just like, I felt like I was struggling playing with both of you, not because of both of you, but it was just like they definitely really lower the rates for all of those animals. So yeah, it just felt like you're sitting there trying to find something, but there's nothing. There's no bugs popping up. So yeah, once I was playing on my own, it felt so much easier, and it really, I think if you all have not done the bug off yet, maybe you haven't gotten the game yet, and are just listening to this for the first time. But buy some turnips and let them rot, because every single time I went toward my turnips, I had some ants there waiting for me. So it was just so easy for me after a while to catch tons and tons of bugs with that strategy.
But that was when you were solo.
Yeah, when I was solo, like I don't know, it didn't seem like the bugs would spawn at least the ants. It just didn't feel like they would spawn when we were playing together. So yeah, it was kind of rough doing it that way.
Everyone online got to watch us struggle.
Yeah, but yeah, overall it was fun because we did get to just hang out and have a good time together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So I don't know. I guess did you both like this more than the fishing tourney? I guess Nina, you like this more, right?
Yeah, just because I like bug catching more. I like being able to see what I'm going after and kind of hunt it down. The fishing tourney, even though it's also fun, you got to make all that bait, and I get so nervous pressing the button to reel in the fish. I have to close my eyes and listen for the little plonk instead of watching your bobber. So I just found the bug catching kind of more relaxing.
Yeah. And then I guess, Sergio, how did you feel regarding these two? Like, do you prefer the fishing tourney or do you prefer the bug off?
I would say I definitely prefer the fishing tourney. If you think about it, you have the option of just going for wherever the fish are, which I guess you could think of it as hard mode. Or you could just, like Anina said, you could just stock up on bait, and you can stay still in your favorite fishing spot, and then you just use up all of your bait. But then again, that wouldn't be easy mode because you have to make the bait in the first place. It's just two different hard modes.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm at this moment, I'm already in the process of stocking up on bait. Every little clam that I see while I run around, I'm just like, oh, here's some more bait for the fishing tourney next month. And I guess the one benefit here is that your points stack each round. So I think I was really close to 300 last fishing tournament. So this time I honestly can probably do it 3 times and be done based on how many points I got last time. So, but once again, like this bug off, there are so many cool items that you can get multiples of. But I guess I didn't really give my recap of the bug off, so I'll go through mine real quick too. And I think this time around, we all did the event together. I thought that was awesome. I liked hanging out while we caught bugs, but after a while, it just felt like, man, where are these bugs? It just seemed like the spawn rates as a group were not high. But the items really made up for it. I wanted to keep catching things. Even after I played with both of you, I just kept playing because I wanted to collect more spider webs, more termite mounds, and those fancy bug boxes. What are they called? The artisanal bug cage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those items are just so good, and I wish I had more than I do. So already I am really happy. The bug off is going to take place every single month this summer. So we get 4 bug offs, and we're getting one, at least if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going to get 4 these upcoming months. So we'll have one June, like we already did, July, August, and September. Each of those months we'll have one, and we'll just get to keep catching things and keep collecting spider webs for Halloween. That's the most important thing for me right now. But yeah, I guess let's talk about the items a little bit too. So Sergio, what was your favorite item from the bug off?
My favorite item is the bug shirt that you get. It kind of looks like a black shirt with like pinkish reddish accents.
Oh yeah, that one it's adorable. I'm glad I got two of them, just because I don't know, they're really fun, really cute. I'm wearing mine on my character right now,
Ah,
the day
nice.
after. So yeah, I like that one a lot. I think that's a good one. My other favorite one is shoot, what is it called? Oh, the
Like,
artisanal bug box. I think that's for sure
yes,
my favorite. And
yes.
then my second favorite is the spider webs for sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was some good variety in like you were all discussing. No, we can do a bug room or we can do a Halloween room. Like there's different themes that you can make these items work into.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's so much opportunity. And already like I've been kind of thinking about how to use the museum plaques that we got back from the museum festival.
Right.
And so I'm planning on kind of making a makeshift like bug, fossil, and art room and fish room in my makeshift museum that I want to do, because I do want to have like a space themed room, like a space exhibit.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool to just get more of the items and be able to implement them more into the designs that we have.
Yes, and I wonder once Nintendo knows that everyone kind of did the bug off and the fishing tourney at least 4 times, they could add more items maybe during the second year, like for the second round of each.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So Nina, what was your favorite item during the bug off?
Oh man, that's a really hard question for me. I liked so many of them. I really liked the artisanal bug cage. I think I'm saving two of those in two different places on my islands. I also
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of like CJ's fish cooler that you can use them as wardrobes. So I have
Yes.
all these like
Oh yeah.
hidden wardrobes all around my island now. Um and the spider webs are just gonna make my
Yes.
dungeon or my my little pirate jail so much better.
Yeah. So
Oh
we like the same
yeah.
things. Yeah, I also said the cooler, no, not the coolers. I mean the bug cage, which also you can get
hmm
dressed in, hilarious.
Yes.
And then yeah, the spider webs. Next fishing tourney, I'm going for a ton of spider webs because I
Yeah.
need them for my Halloween home.
Man, and the shirt is cute too. There's just so many cute ones.
Yes.
Yeah, too many to count,
Yeah.
really.
Though I will say I was kind of underwhelmed by the little bug um backpack, the bug cage backpack.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I liked the fish cooler backpack so much better. I feel like if they made the bug cage backpack just a little bit bigger or a little more detailed so you could tell what it is, that I would wear it way more often.
Yeah, I agree. It's just kind of like it doesn't take up enough space on your back. It feels like what bug is going to fit in here? I
Yeah.
mean, bugs are
Yeah.
small, but not in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and it's just kind of lacking detail.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, it was good to chat with you all about the bug off, especially post. I know we hung out during it, but I didn't feel like we got our overall thoughts on it, so I was glad to chat with you. So let's go ahead and move on to Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read some of their answers here on the show. So this week's question was, what do you think the August update will bring to New Horizons? And of course, we all talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to get an idea of what our patrons are thinking that'll come. So maybe we'll go Nina, Sergio, then me.
Okay.
Okay.
So Tyler H says it has to be the farming. This would be perfect time to do it. Also, fingers crossed that we get some quality of life updates like online changes and crafting multiple things.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep asking for those for a long time,
Yeah. It would
Who
definitely
knows
make
when they'll happen.
yeah, and I mean it would definitely make the fishing tournament easier too.
Yeah, it's gonna be at all-time high, those complaints, when the fishing tourney rolls around, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what people are gonna be doing. They're gonna be making bait and
Oh
just
yeah,
complaining about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Nice. So Lindsay Schley says, I think fireworks are a guarantee. I think maybe it's finally going to be time for Brewster. We know he's coming from the accidental dialogue about him that they dropped. After all, we do need him in time for Pigeon Spice latte season. That's true. And yeah, Brewster, I thought about Brewster hopefully coming around in August. We're getting Pascal in July. Why not Brewster in August? Makes sense. I'm down for
Oh
it.
my gosh. Pigeon spice
Yeah.
latte. That's too much.
I'm so into it. I love it.
Nice.
Cool. So Tea with Tea said, I believe fireworks will come back and there will be a holiday event announced for back to school time. They will give us items that will look really cute to go back to school or just make a school on our island.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think everybody's probably going to mention, of course, the fireworks, obviously, because, autumn or August, I mean, is fireworks season. But back to school, yeah, I'm sure this isn't the same for you, Nina, because, you're a teacher and everything, but I forget school exists all the time. So I feel like, yeah, I would not have expected back to school stuff. Hand it over. I'm down.
Yeah. Well, and I think that if Tea with Tea is from kind of the southeast of the United States, we go back to school a little earlier than the rest of the country. So I think that maybe this would be more of a September update, but I really love to see these items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too because I don't know, my island hasn't gotten to this point. I don't know when it will, but I'm a huge fan of Over the Garden Wall, and I've been wanting to make like a little schoolhouse eventually, but I haven't really found the time to do it quite yet. I'm still working on too many other things on
Yeah.
my island to make that happen, but if there is back to school stuff, that would really help me in that quest.
Yeah,
So,
that would be
I'm for
adorable.
it.
So Israel Sanchez says, I'd like KK Slider to be able to move to different areas on your island. It'd be really cool to be able to build a stage or an amphitheater on your island where KK and possibly future characters can set up and perform. Ah, that'd be
Ooh.
awesome. I think I was talking to you guys on the live stream about how KK just kind of needs like a little weather update too, because when it's raining on your island, he's just playing the guitar in the rain. And luckily, it's an acoustic guitar, or he'd really be in trouble. So I think it'd be nice for him to have either a stage, an amphitheater, or just kind of a little bit of a character update. And it'd be super cool if there were more musical characters.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to see like KK Slider have a band too, so
Yeah. Or an
I agree.
opener.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, or an opener, an
Yeah.
opening act, but yeah, no, it would be really cool to see them kind of take that direction with KK Slider. He's always been kind of a solo act, which I know you don't mind, Sergio. But yeah, I think it just adds a little bit depth to a little bit of depth to the work that he does as an artist, as a
Yes.
musician. So I think it'd be fun.
And August 23 is his birthday, so how about an amphitheater as a present?
Oh,
That would work out perfectly.
I
I would
love
love
that you know
that.
that.
Yeah, it's great.
So Medi says, obviously the fireworks festival every Sunday night. I'm hoping to see Red's little stand come back as well as Isabel, and maybe Tom Nook in traditional Japanese outfits appropriate for the season. I also think this update will bring in a bunch of new paper fans that you can purchase during the festival, alongside fireworks and such. Yes, those little
Mhm.
items, they really make the event. Even if you can buy them multiple, even if they bring back the gacha thing with the cookies or the
Mhm.
way you got the items from Red, that's fine. The more items we get, the better.
And
Yeah. What were you going to say, Nina?
Well, and actually, we already have a paper fan item that we could get from the Nook shopping app, those little Uchiwa summer fans. So that'd be
Mm-hmm.
really easy to just put a different pattern on the fan, and then you could kind of do a collect them all. That'd be awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that, especially because, like, part of the fun, I know there aren't as many, I guess, unique pieces of furniture in this game as, like, previous games. Like, New Leaf had so many, but just the variation of all of them, like, there are so many different ways that those items can look and everything. So, yeah, I would not mind if we just got even more of that with the fans, too.
Mhm. Yeah, and the little animation is already made and it's adorable. So I think that is a very real possibility.
Yeah, well, I haven't even gotten one yet, so I would
You
love to
definitely
see
need to
it.
order it.
I need one. Cool. So our last answer is from Alordrienne, and they said, "It's summer for some people. What's swimming going to be like for those of us in winter? Our ponds should freeze over so we can ice skate. I hope with the new update we can increase storage because mine is nearly constantly full. Would be great to have storage chests out on the island to throw crafting materials in as well." So yeah, I grabbed this one because, like, they make a very good point. Like, yeah, it's going to be summer here, but it's not going to be summer everywhere. There's all sorts of seasons going on throughout the world,
Right.
So it would be really cool to see, like, how they take that into account, at least in, like, some small ways,
Yeah. Well, and luckily, some of the marine suits look like they're long sleeved and long pants. So hopefully, they'll keep them warm in the ocean.
Yeah, hopefully, because we don't want to freeze our little characters. Cool. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewie Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube? The comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. What do you think the August update will bring to New Horizons? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a Wild production brought to you by Chewie, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.